back. After almost 30 years in the music business, Deacon Blue played to what was perhaps their biggest audience just last weekend at the closing ceremony of the Commonwealth Games.
It was home turf for the Glasgow band and has brought them to attention of a whole new generation of fans. Before we hear from them, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome. We're going to chat about the new album, A New House, but let's remind ourselves of the global performance they did.
There's a man I know, walks up our street. He's a work for the plaza.
That must have been fun. Hey.
I have to admit, it was a very special night indeed.
Was it the biggest audience you ever played to? More than 6 million people?
I imagine it must be.
I think it was, yes.
I think even in the old days of the Wogan show, they didn't have these kind of things.
And lovely that, because this is kind of home turf for you, isn't it, both of you?
Yes, hometown, did you say?
Home turf. I said not town, because town is different, isn't it?
Yes, no, home turf, very much so. In fact, the south side of Glasgow tends to be, there's less things going on in the south side, always people think, but we live in the south side. Hampden's on the south side. Yeah. And I've had lots of miserable experiences at Hampden, both as a Dundee United supporter in the cup finals and sometimes as a Scotland supporter. So to have a great experience at Hampden
That was different.
Yeah. I was outraged to hear that people watching on Twitter were going, Deacon Blue, who are these guys? You know, I mean, you're legends in the music business. You've been around for 30 years. You've got one of the most distinctive voices in music, and all these kids going, who are they? What did you think of that?
Well, it was a change from Not Them Again, so, you know, so you can't win. No, we laughed, actually, we saw that. We thought, oh, there's still some fans out there to be won over.
Yeah, exactly, a whole new audience, you could
absolutely.
say.
Yeah.
So it's called, what's it called? It's called A New House, isn't it?
Yeah, the new one.
Why? Is it new? What's different?
Well, I had a memory of growing up and moving to a new house and the excitement that was. And I suppose it just became a kind of interesting image and metaphor for that excitement, the possibility of things. And when we were kids, my parents took us out to this little building site. You know, it was a building site in a new little housing estate. And I remember walking around, and it was just a fantastic feeling of looking up through the roof, and there wasn't a roof there, and saying, this will be where the back door is. And Lorraine's story of her family moved from the east end of Glasgow, from what's called a single end, out to the Ayrshire, where her father got a new job. Yeah. And there was just this possibility of a whole new life starting.
Yeah.
So,
and this optimism about life.
And I think that was just something that I just wanted to tap into remembering, and how did that feel?
Let's have a listen to the sound of optimism on A New House.
Where the wild things grew, all the fields you used to run through. Summer stretches out for 7 weeks in June. Was there more light, more time than he ever knew? Now he's run as fast as he can go, and he's hidden almost everywhere that he knows.
I love those. So those are your actual home videos. You were there drinking a soft drink.
Soft drink. Yes, it was old. I mean, my parents, my dad never took cine film, but one of my uncles did, and left it, and we managed to get it transferred. And then later on in the video, there's Lorraine's uncle did the same thing. Yep. And in her case, it was again right outside their new house.
Yeah.
Oh, which is lovely. So people worry, don't they, when they're moving house, that change is a difficult thing to go through. But that's a completely different message you're giving then, isn't it?
Well, we've been in the same house for 20 years, so we maybe should practice what we preach. It may be time to move, but I don't really think it's about that. I think it's about the possibilities of life, and you know, change is good.
Yeah, it's a big time for Scotland at the moment, of course, because you just had the Commonwealth Games, then you've got the referendum coming up, and there was the debate on TV. Well, if you're in Scotland, you could see it. Yeah. Some of us had trouble finding it.
We were travelling to Manchester.
Online. And whenever we get somebody Scottish on the sofa, we always ask them if they've got a view, and sometimes they say, yes, I've got a view, but I'm just not going to share it. But you do have a view, which you sort of share in one of the tracks on the album, don't you?
Yes, I mean, I don't think any song ever covers a political event. I don't think that songs should be confined to that. I think that songs afterwards sometimes think, actually these songs might have been part of that time. And I don't like to limit things like that, but we do. You know, we've always been yes people, I guess. Not as a band, because the band have different opinions. I'm talking about Lorraine and myself. But the lovely thing is we have lots and lots of friends who are people that we're close to. And, you know, whatever people tell you about the nature of the debate, I think it's been a very healthy thing, a very positive thing.
It was very enjoyable being in Glasgow, because we were up there during the Commonwealth Games, and it is very much a live debate in Scotland, isn't it? People are discussing this a lot, aren't they?
And I think it's politicised a whole generation of young people who beforehand would be reluctant to talk about politics.
But not a bitter debate.
No, I don't think it is at all.
Not in our experience.
No.
But you know, as Lorraine said, you know, our children have got very animated about it, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, I think that as long as it carries on, because it's not just about going to the polling station one day. As long as it carries on and people take real interest in their lives and the lives of others.
And they watch you? Do they like your music?
They come along.
Yeah.
That's about it. I love it. You didn't answer.
You made to watch Mum and Dad on performing on the
They're very good. They're very generous, our kids.
Great to see you again.
Thanks
very much.
so much.
Thanks for having us.
Deacon Blue's new album, A New House, is out on the 8th of September.
And that's all from us this morning. Charlie and Naga will be here tomorrow. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.